Good morning. What's good, Little Rich?
Yo,
Steve, what's up, bro? I ain't seen you in a minute.
I remember that name too. Stephen Harris. What up, Steve? Y'all already know ain't no other podcast in the comment section like Black Chat Chronicles. That's what set us apart from all the other podcast talk shows out there. Engagement. We put engagement over followers and views and all that. Of course, we want that too, but we creating a real community here. Shout out to everybody tapping in.
Ah, shit.
Ain't nobody in the comments.
Like you don't muted yourself. What? Some kind of way you don't want that.
Oh, damn. I think I have my finger over the. That's better?
Yep.
Yeah, I have my finger over the mic. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to send you some information last night, doing my influencer research. And he said the smaller influencers are leading the way right now.
Dropping flops. What's good? What is he laughing? He probably talking about the title.
Uh-huh. Shout out to everybody.
Oh shit! I just noticed I did. Man, I did not make that. Shit.
Good. All I see in the house was good, Queen. Always happy to see your name pop up.
I actually went live on the Black Check Chronicles one on this too. I got to delete that. Some of them probably was coming in. There, I switched it. It's crazy as hell. I forgot about that thing right there. Ollie, what's good? All right, we about to get started in like the next minute, people.
Nephew, I see you, nephew. What it do? Ghosting just tapped in. Shout out to Champagne.
What's up with you, Ghosting?
That's crazy. He from Champagne too, because I don't know that many places outside of Chicago as far as Illinois, but I had a family member that had a contract job in Champaign, Illinois. So it's ironic that he from there. I wanted to go up there too. I didn't get a chance to make it up there. Yo, my boy, all the way. You already know. Ghost nephew, ain't nobody in that comment section like Black Chat Chronicles, man. We about to take this thing over as long as we got the community with us. And people might read 2 or 3 comments. Ain't nobody in the comment section like Black Chat Chronicles. Y'all let that be known.
Oh shit.
Major part of the show.
All right, so we better go ahead and get started. And first and foremost, there goes Solo.
There she
I'm
goes.
gonna go ahead and say everything that we're about to discuss in here is for educational purposes only. We're not saying that any of this that we're saying is 100% true, This is you can take how you want to take it with it. We just giving out the information, and you do with it whatever you feel.
Right.
With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started. First thing I want to cover, I don't know how many of y'all are aware of this. Last night, first off, I was up. I ain't go to sleep till 5 o'clock in the morning. But so yeah, I'm on zombie time right now. I seen late last night, well, I guess early in the morning, that your boy Donald J. Trump, your 47th president, basically tweeted and said to the public that he, because I actually mentioned this not too long ago that Barack Obama basically was on a podcast and he confirmed that aliens are real, right? And Trump followed it up and said Obama made a mistake, basically even speaking of that because it's supposed to be classified documents or whatever. But like predicted, like I told y'all, he's gonna tear this whole system down. That's what he's gonna do. And he said, basically, Donald Trump said, "Fuck it, this nigga wanna talk about it. I'm about to release the files on everything we got on it." So pretty much, for all of us that are curious of whether or not these things are real and wants to know more information on it, the government has been kind of hiding stuff for the longest. They kind of told us recent years that they do exist, but pretty much he has stated that he's about to release the documents on what they have. And I'm gonna play a quick little clip of Trump speaking on just that. Well, them reporting on what Trump is about to do. Trump, that's a funny ass dude.
Yeah.
Everybody don't give a fuck it up.
No.
Directing federal agencies to release government documents that discuss extraterrestrial life and other unexplained aerial phenomena. Now, I've got to say this was not the breaking news that I was expecting to have this hour, but it's certainly one of the most read stories as well this morning. So you've got President Trump that's gone onto Truth Social, and he's saying that the US will start to release files on aliens and UFOs. There's a little bit of nuance to this, but I think one of the major things to watch or to understand about it is that the former president, Barack Obama, was recently on a podcast where he was asked about the existence of aliens, whether they were real or not. And Obama essentially said, he said they're real on this podcast earlier this month. And so President Trump is saying that was classified information. He shouldn't have been releasing it. And the reason that he now wants to actually make these documents public, President Trump says, is also to essentially get Barack Obama out of trouble. That's the view of President Trump. But of course, this is something that Barack Obama has also been talking about on social media and giving sort of his side of that conversation and what he said on the podcast.
Yeah, and it does seem, without having the benefit of having heard the actual statement, right, from the former president, was that the hedge, it didn't, based on what he said on social media, made it seem like it wasn't a statement of objective fact, but something that you could deduce based on the fact that it's just, space is just massive, and the probability that, we're not alone speaks to the fact that there could be actually extraterrestrial life. I can't believe we've spent a lot of time on this, but it's fascinating, I think, in some ways. Maybe just one last thing. I think we have 45 seconds before the break, and we can talk about AI later, so just the stock check, we can do that later. When you think about aliens, right, people immediately go to things that look like us, intelligent alien life, right, where it could be on underneath the surface of Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter. There's a massive ocean of water there, and we could actually find some life. It doesn't need to be intelligent life, but I guess we'll find out if they release the files.
Gotcha.
Could it be out there?
Okay. So That's pretty much what Trump had to say. Well, you know, the report on what Trump is doing with these aliens and stuff. And I found it very interesting that he just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this shit. And just release it. And you're not doing it to get Obama out of trouble. Stop lying.
Right.
That's first though.
Right. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
But I did find it very interesting. Now I wanted to know what do y'all have on this? What y'all think of it?
Well, he's right about it. It is above top secret, and that's how we was taught too. That this type of information is not top secret; it's above top secret. And I get that from one of your Memphis OGs, brother Rashard. I'm gonna shout that brother out. That's my go-to guy when it comes to this topic. And when something is above top secret, the presidents are on like a need to know basis, because remember, they come and go. So the deep state, the administrative state, they know what's going on, and only if it's on a need to know basis do they inform the president. And because the U.S., I wrap my point up with this, because the U.S., as we've often said, is the global superpower. The United States is the world police. For the longest time, they didn't want the world to know that there was a superior power out there. See, since everybody pulling the curtains back, I feel comfortable speaking on it now. I wouldn't have said this before because I'm not trying to have no federal agents coming to shut me up. But since everybody talking about it, that's what it was. They didn't want the world to know that it was a superior power to them. And shout out to them Navy pilots. I spoke on this before. I wrap my point up after this. They kept seeing, they would be out there doing their drills. There was some U.S. Navy pilots that would be out there doing their drills, not even the Air Force pilot, Navy pilots. And they would come back to their base, I guess, and tell their colleagues, their comrades, hey, man, we seeing some shit out there flying around, and it ain't a foreign nation, and it ain't us. Like, so they want to know, hey, does the government have some stuff that we don't know about? And their colleagues or comrades kind of kept mocking them. Like, yeah, you guys see some UFOs out there, huh? And then one day they looked up and actually clocked them with the sensor equipment. And it was able to bring the evidence back to the base. And that's what really that's what ripped the lid off for the public to where they could start letting us in on what's going on. And so that's the beginning of it, but it started matching a lot of the stuff we was taught growing up. I've been knowing about this stuff since middle school, but when you can't prove something, you're a bit hesitant to talk about it. So that's where we are right now. It's my excitement is that hopefully it brings earthlings closer together as a real united nation. You know how we got the United Nations, but everybody know who really run this motherfucker. So hopefully this will really bring us together as United Nations, as earthlings, to prepare for whatever the case may be, whether they're opposition aliens or aliens that's actually trying to enlighten us to help us evolve in this world. That's it.
All right, Solo, what you got on this?
I mean, I don't have an opinion. I guess my only thing I would say is that, we've heard about it being aliens and stuff, right? And I don't think that that's something that we can rule out, given that so many people who work for what I would consider to be the deep state have said that they exist. So is it aliens? Probably.
Okay, so what sparked my interest, Todd, I know you talked about this a couple of times, basically with the what year was that when they the mothership appeared here in California?
That was 1942. Thanks for bringing that up. 1942 is called the Battle of Los Angeles. Real event. The Battle of Los Angeles. And they tried to cover it up. I get all this information from Brother Rashard. Shout out that brother going ham on this. So, and they tried to cover it up. What's the name of that movie, Jamie? It's a movie called Battle LA. So when you look this stuff up, you kind of get redirected to the movie and not the true to life event that actually occurred over Los Angeles in 1942 during World War II. Back, you got it, Jane.
So yeah, it makes me curious of whether or not they're gonna put that in. Like, is he gonna release that? Like, to let the people know, look, at some point in 1942, there was a mothership that showed up. We unleashed multiple missiles and shit like that to try to attack them, and we weren't able to budge. We weren't able to put a dent in that motherfucker.
Right.
So basically, as all powerful as America is, it's another being that's out there that's inferior. I mean, that's superior to us, and that's going to make people start to question a lot of things.
A lot of things. Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's linked to some of the topics that we have had. We're gonna dive deeper into this Sunday on Black Chat Chronicles. I think it's gonna play a very important part, because we're gonna cover the Great Tribulation this coming Sunday. So spoiler alerts. That's one thing that we're gonna dive into this coming Sunday. But I think that's going to play a pivotal role in, these end times, where we're going to become familiar with these things. And in my opinion, I believe the Messiah will show up with one of these things that they're speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
We'll touch on that, Sunday. I'm not trying to dig that up too much now, but yeah, I think it's very linked. And it's just crazy that how we've been talking about this, because we kind of been talking about this stuff for like maybe the past 2 weeks, and I'm gonna just say he's gonna release the documents on what they have on it.
I want to speak on this real quick too. Trump, he's been driven to one up Obama ever since that correspondence dinner. Well, Obama kind of poked him with a joke, like, Trump, you'll never be the president. And Trump was like, okay, hold my bill. He told the person sitting next to him that I'm making that part up as far as the hold my bill part. But ever since then, Trump been on a social warpath to one up Obama on everything. And so when Obama beats him to it, like you said, I agree with you 100%, Jamie. Trump, like, I'm the president, nigga. Why is you leaking shit out? You know what I'm saying? So when Obama leaked that out on a podcast, Trump, like, here he go again. I don't want to use the N-word speaking as I'm Trump, so I'm gonna keep that. Although we know he said it, but anyway, this is very good. Remember, he put up that post talking about not that N-word, the other N-word. You were talking about the nuclear, so Trump savvy as hell. But anyway, that's his thing. And whenever Obama does something, he's driven to one up Obama. And for the people, it benefits us. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad Obama said what he said, and I'm glad Trump is clapping back, because the people get the information. Now the masses we get to read the information and be our own judges.
Trump need to release the Epstein files.
He already did that.
Nah, they said that they have released 2% of the Epstein files. They said there's billions of documents that have not been released.
So I heard that they said he's telling them to release the final ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently what's in the last of it is super safe.
His attorney general just said that it's closed. We gave y'all everything we got when we know it's not.
And the attorney general, that's Pam Bundy, right?
Pam Bundy, yeah.
I saw a headline this morning with Candace. I didn't click it, but the clickbait said she woke up feeling like Pam Bundy this morning. That's Candace's headline.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. Let me shout out Nephew real quick. Nephew, I see you, and I want to check out some more of your music too, man. You know I'm an old head when it comes to that hip hop stuff, but I want to check out some more of your music if you still listening to us. And I see DV say, do y'all think that these aliens are these clones? No, they're not clones or drones, bro. That is It's arrogant for humanity to think, as big as this universe is, we're the only living species in the whole universe. Them things are real. All I see for me, I believe them aliens are either angels or demons. I believe they're angels. If they were demons, they would have been took this world over. Like, why would a demon be patient? Angels, they are angels. But again, because the U.S. don't want nobody, moving them out the way, they gonna run them off. The U.S. military forces pretty much run them things off every time they come in our atmosphere. They'll send some U.S. And they say them things so fast, them things they just mirror whatever the U.S. Military comes at them with, and they travel at light speed. So it's you talking about a 6-year-old kid interacting with a 6-month-old baby. But that's it. Pam Bundy, AG. Hey, all I see for me, I've been knew you was woke, but you way woke than I thought you was. If you know about William Cooper and all that stuff.
That's why I put it on here. I was about to address that comment.
A lot of us don't know about that dude, but that Alex Jones,
the pale horse.
Go ahead. Yeah, that book. That was a big topic back in the late 90s and somewhat the early 2000s, but he kind of went off the map. But I'm back quiet, y'all. Y'all got it.
So who is the pale horse, people? The one that, they speak about that in Revelation. The pale horse that everywhere it go, destruction came upon it.
Yeah.
We know that sound like somebody we know. Some people we know.
It fit the description of a human race group. Yeah. Kenny in the house. We got nephew, Mr. Franchise, Ghosting. Oh, we got both of my nephews in the house today. Where we at with it? So yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. I've been knowing about this stuff since middle school. And back to what you were saying, Jamie, that ever since 1942, I mean, it's documented. The military had to come back and report what happened. Man, we shot 1,400 rounds at this thing and it didn't budge. And they went and arrested the only man. This man deserves his credit right now. Whether you like him or not, that's really not important. So I would like to ask everybody to turn their feelings off, because I know once you mention the name, people their emotions start thinking about other stuff. It was only one man in 1942 that was teaching about these space planes. And his name is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Whether you like him or not, that's a documented fact. Nobody. So when this happened in 1942, less than 6 months later, by executive order, President FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had him arrested and confiscated all of his teachings about the mother plane and the baby wheels that come out of the mother plane. But it's under control, not influence. Now, remember, we were talking about influence and control. The mother plane controls the baby wheels. You know what I mean? So they arrested him because he was the only. They was laughing at him at first. These niggas over there teaching about spaceships and UFOs, and and then when that happened in World War II, he was the only guy for them to go pick up to find out, hey, what are these things? And they told him, we know it's real. We've seen it. We just can't get to it. So who's the aggressor? Who's the angel? Who's the demon? If they're the ones, yeah, you got it, John.
So just for clarification, to put it out there, who taught Elijah Muhammad?
It was a Arab from Saudi Arabia. Remember back in these days, so this is the 30s. So some Arabs can pass for white. Remember, in our culture, there's a such thing called passing, where you're so light that people think you're white. The way the nation teach it is that was God in person in disguise. He knew he can get through the American system as a pale guy from Saudi Arabia. When he got here in 1930, this is, I think, after Marcus Garvey and all them, he started teaching Elijah Muhammad for 3.5 years. Thanks for asking that question, Jamie, because I want us to observe this from a historical, academic observation, not a religious, emotional observation. So he taught Elijah Muhammad for 4 years. And one of the things he taught him about was the mother plane and the baby wheels. And before he disappeared from America, he showed Elijah Muhammad the mother plane in the sky. You could take it or leave it alone. It's up to you. We're not trying to force you to believe nothing. I'm saying that to the whole anybody listening.
Educational purposes, people.
Yes. So he showed it to him, and he gave him all the knowledge, not all the knowledge. He gave him the knowledge he needed to teach about it. This is in the 1930s. Just think about the condition of our people in the 1930s for a black man to be teaching about a mother plane spaceship that released, baby space planes. So, but he was courageous, and because of you seeing is believing, right? So when he saw it, like, man, I see it. I'm looking at it with the naked eye, not even with a telescope. And he started teaching the stuff this guy from Saudi Arabia taught him. Now, our brothers and the sisters in the nation, they honor this guy as God, as person. The far as I go is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I'm grateful that this guy taught a Georgia-born black man with a 3rd grade education. That's what I'm proud of. That a black man, a child of slaves, raised in South Georgia, not Atlanta, racist ass South Georgia, grew up, moved to Detroit, met this Saudi Arabian guy who taught him about this stuff. And since we're talking about the aliens, let me just focus on the mother plane. He taught him about this in the 30s, and then Elijah Muhammad started teaching his students about it. Malcolm chose to skip over it. So when Malcolm arrives in the 50s, Malcolm gets out of prison in the mid-50s, we got to give Malcolm credit. The nation went from 4 to 5 temples to temples all across the country. I don't care how y'all think or feel about Malcolm or what happened between him and Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm deserves his credit for expanding the nation. It went from 4 temples to 50. That's how charismatic he was as a teacher. I know I'm slightly getting off topic, but I'll rest my case there.
What y'all think about the movie Hidden Figures? Man, honestly, I've never seen it.
Jamie.
That movie good.
Jamie, if you didn't have 2 older brothers, I look at you like a little brother, but since you got 2 older brothers, you the homie, bro. You gotta see that movie because I know you kind of hard on our women, and I am too. But it shows the mathematical genius of our women. So when you watch Hidden Figures, it's about black women in NASA. I ain't gonna spoil the whole movie for you.
I mean, I'm aware of what it's about.
All right,
I'm aware of that. But I just haven't seen the movie.
It's worth your time, bro. I'll leave it there. You had 3 black. Taraji played one. I can't remember the other sister name. She got the Oscar.
Jonelle Monáe.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely remember. I can't remember. What's the third?
What's the other that
she the one got the Oscar.
Yeah, she did good. She a famous actor. What's her name with the big eyes?
I'm sorry. I hope she don't see this, but I can't.
I know, right? That they should take our black heart for that.
Especially
what is her name? She play on a lot of movies.
Taraji. Is Janelle Monáe.
What's another movie she played?
She played in The Help. She got the Oscar for The Help.
Yes, The Help. The maid on The Help.
Right. But so Jamie, those 3, they pretty much solved the problems for NASA using their intelligence and maybe some spiritual wisdom, and they was able to help NASA connect the dots about going to the moon. That's what the movie about. I see somebody. Let me see what
Spencer, right?
Stephen Harris say far. Okay, Stephen Harris know a little something. Elijah Muhammad became an early follower in the 1930s, adopting far anti-white separatist ideology, considered him to be the son
of
America.
Yeah,
what's her name? Octavia Spencer. Thanks, DB. Thanks, DB. Right on. I watched it in high school in my senior year English class in 2022. Shout out to nephew Ghost. Go ahead, Jane. Jamie, real quick, if you don't mind. So the guy you was asking about who taught Elijah Muhammad, his name was Master Fard. So Stephen Harris say Fard teachings on Black pride and independence formed the foundation of what Elijah Muhammad later built into a national organization. Well said, brother. Thank you.
I watched it in high school in my senior year English class in 2022. Yeah.
And people, you got to remember, man, people, black, I want to speak to my people right now, Black Americans in the United States. You know, we emotions hold us back. And as our expression goes, we'll throw the baby out with the bathwater because of our emotions. Now, if our different teachers, whether if it's Malcolm, Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, Muhammad Ali, extract the positive knowledge they taught us. You know, whatever their differences was, that's that's on them. Yeah, Malcolm it was a huge loss for us as a community, but Malcolm made his mark. You know, and I don't separate any of them. I learn from all of them. So if you ask who's Malcolm teacher, it's Elijah Muhammad. Who's Elijah Muhammad's teacher? It's that Saudi Arabian dude, Master Fard. I don't know who his teacher was, but who was Muhammad Ali teacher? Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Who was Farrakhan teacher? Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Malcolm X mentored Farrakhan. And we kill each other every day across this country. So they had their issue within their nation. Things went the way it went. It was painful to experience, but we shouldn't let our emotions block us from extracting the facts of life to improve our quality of living.
And I'll say that, I'll add to that. What I've learned is that when Black people are attempting to work together, we don't have to agree on everything. If we can agree on one thing and work on that, progress that, then that could move us forward. Like maybe we don't agree on religion, but we agree on that we need to replace the school system, or we need to do this for our kids, or do this for economics. We don't have to agree on everything. We could disagree. You could be a Christian, I could be a Muslim, but if we can agree that we need to do this to help our community, then that's what we need to be doing. I'm not worried about who you going to church.
That's right. Real. That's real.
But I don't think that's what it's like. If you're not a Christian, then I can't even hang around with you. If you're not a Muslim, I can't even hang around. We can't even be cool. We can't even work together for nothing. And I think that's what's holding us back.
Yeah, that's definitely killing us. I never understood that. DeMarcus, again, I'm aware of this Tuskegee Airman, but I haven't seen the movie.
I think it's like the first Black fleet of airmen.
Yeah, pilot.
Yeah, World War II. Yeah, those brothers. That's why our role within this country is so powerful. We fought in every war. Shout out to the Caribbean
every
immigrants.
major war we was very.
Yeah. And our Caribbean immigrants and African immigrants just need to simply understand that, cut out the gaslighting. That shit ain't gonna get y'all nowhere. Accept the facts of who are the native Black Americans, who are the FBAs, foundational Black. Before y'all wanted to come here, our ancestors was on this land, building this country. We built this motherfucker. And all we asking you to do is to wipe your feet on the rug when you come to our house. In the Bible, it says Jesus went to the house of Israel. A nation is a house. When you hear the word house, that's synonymous with nation. So when you come to our nation, you're walking in our house. This is we built this motherfucker. Y'all didn't want to come to after 1965. And I'm saying this with love in my heart. So all that gaslighting y'all trying to do, the psyop and the usurp our position, that shit ain't gonna happen. It's 50 million of us. It's 7 million of y'all. Just respect our house. That's all we asking y'all to do, or the universe gonna deal with you. God bless you. Yo, Trump gonna deal with your ass. Why you think we stand the hell out the way of the ICE raid deportation? Maybe that's the universe dealing with y'all ass through Trump.
It is. And let me tell you something. Another sport alert. That's going to be another major topic for Sunday, because I want to make it crystal clear for the people. A lot of people have asked me this once I bring it up. How Trump doing something to benefit us? So I'm gonna make sure this Sunday I line it all up for y'all, so we can have a great discussion on the things that he's going to do in tearing down the system and how that's going to benefit it. Because Black people ask that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. we're gonna go ahead and talk about this protest. Give me a second. So I'm not sure who's aware and who's not, but there is basically a major strike that the people living in the States are planning to do in response to the Epstein files and all the egregious and atrocious, terrible events that's taken place with all of the rich celebrities and political figures that's involved with it. And pretty much there hasn't been any arrest or major, discipline that has been done to any of these people. So it's pretty much sending the message that, hey, they untouchable. They did it, big deal. When actually that's some pretty thick bullshit that's been going on. So some people came together and said on March the 7th, we are going to protest, basically go on strike to not go to work or buy anything that's happened, moved the American economy on the day of March 7th to let them know this shit is not okay and something needs to be done about it. So I'm gonna share a video of a brother that kind of sharing his his opinion on how the strike is going to be done, and we'll come back and I will just react to it.
YouTube's down, but I want to talk about something very important. On March 7th, 2026, we will go on strike for as long as we can. With the release of the new Epstein files, a lot of people have been saying that we're not angry enough. We should do something about this. So a woman on TikTok proposed that we go on strike for as long as we can with the start date of March 7th of this year. This means no going to work unless you're first responders, so like doctors, nurses, and stuff like that. This also means no taking vacation spots, no bars, no eating out or anything like that, and no paying taxes. Mind you, this strike doesn't last for one day, however. We're going to be doing this for as long as it takes. To get things done in this capitalist system, we have to hit them where it hurts, their money. I'll see if I can find the TikToker who first proposed this thing. I want to make it known that we are tired of this. The American people as a whole are tired of this whole charade. We're tired of being left in the dark about all these deplorable things that these people in power are doing. Please, everyone watching this video, spread this around. Share this with your family, your friends, everyone. We need as much people with this as possible. Hopefully this video doesn't flop because YouTube is, bull crapping. Okay, so YouTube's down, but I want to talk about something very important.
Okay, so
on March 7th, 2026.
That's what he had to say on it about the strike. I want to get you guys' opinion on it because this isn't the first time that I've seen someone propose something similar to this. I've seen Young Pharaoh years ago propose something like this. Obviously, it wasn't successful, but at the same time, nothing like this was going on. Like, it's some pretty messed up shit that happened up in those Epstein files. So, what are y'all opinions on this? What do you think of it? Do you think you're going to be a participant of it? Things in that nature.
Yeah, I'm already a living participant of it. This ain't really heavy. It's just I'm about to share, and some may view this as me exposing our financial system, which I think is one of the most brilliant ideas in government history. So the U.S. in 1913 pulled the dollar off. Solo, if you know about this, jump in whenever you're ready. They pulled the U.S. currency off the gold standard. And they make a long story short, if they pulled it off, so if our dollar is no longer backed by gold or some type of natural resources, I'm choosing my words carefully, then
The oil.
right. Like we got oil under U.S. soil. I know I used to rap back in my 20s, but I didn't mean to make that rhyme. But we got oil under U.S. soil, and we keep it, from what I know, we just keep it as reserves. So it don't even really count as a natural resource. Our dollar was pulled off the gold standard in 1913 off the coast of Georgia. So what is our dollar? What empowers our dollar? I'll ask that as a question to see if anybody knows. I might have said it before, but I'm not going to wait too long. I'll go ahead and give y'all the answers to the test. So if we pulled our U.S. currency off the gold standard in 1913, and we don't tie it to the oil under U.S. soil, we don't tie it to any of our natural resources, what gives the U.S. currency its value?
War.
That's a good answer. That's not the precise. That's the good answer, Solo. And I'll go ahead and give y'all the. So
and the reason why I say war is because anytime you try to move away from the U.S. dollar, that's the next thing that's going to happen is
great
war.
point.
Which is what happened with Venezuela. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. All right. So before we get to that, and I'll go ahead and make my point and pass the mic. Before we get to war, and I kind of gave everybody a hint by saying natural resources, because if anybody ever worked for a corporation, they have a department called what? Human resources. So human resources is the value behind the U.S. dollar. It's our labor.
I was gonna say us, the culture.
It's us.
That's what I was gonna be my answer.
You should have said it, bro. It's us. So the U.S. dollar. Why do you think these motherfuckers are so tricky happy to tell you to get a job? Get a job. Get it, because your labor power. To me, y'all welcome to disagree, but that's a brilliant idea. They're basically saying our dollar is going to be as valuable as hard as our citizens work. So to that video you just played, to me, it seems like a lot of U.S. citizens are waking up to that reality. And I just want us to know, as U.S. citizens, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that idea. It's just that most of us are ignorant to what backs the dollar. It's our labor. So that, to me, if I started the country, I would probably use the same concept, because it motivates the people to work hard if you really love your country. Like, hey, you want your country to be a superpower, we're gonna work hard to make it a superpower. And I'm gonna close with a scripture, Psalms 127, verse 2. We could do verse 1 and 2. It basically says, I'm paraphrasing. It basically says, if you're not working for the Lord, you're working in vain. So it's saying you could wake up before sunrise and you could work until after the sun set. If you're not working for the Lord, you're working in vain. So I want us to think about that. And whatever you're trying to pursue, you know what I'm saying? Make sure the Most High Lord thy God is attached to it. That's it.
Solo, what you got on this?
I think that, I mean, I get the concept, but it's not gonna work if I get it and I appreciate it. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not. I think that it's gonna be hard to do because they got us living paycheck to paycheck. So a lot of people can't afford to miss a day of work. A lot of people can't afford to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. And so if you're not getting a check, a lot of us are renting. How are you going to pay your rent? Are you going to get put up? A lot of us don't have savings. So I am a little nervous about that, because I mean, we're looking at potentially increasing the homelessness rate if we're not going to work and we're not making money. So, and I don't think that that's going to force, I don't think that's going to force the United States to do anything. I think that potentially they're just going to replace you if you don't come to work, because somebody will be willing to do this work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of people out of jobs right now. Somebody's going to be willing to do this work. I think that there's other things that we can do that, like, for example, I always throw it in the air and say that one thing that Americans could do is to exempt themselves from paying taxes. Say, like, I'm not paying taxes, I'll exempt myself, and then you figure out a way later on how to be something that I think about. But I am nervous about how successful that's going to be. I think it's a good idea, but you're telling people not to go to work, and then if they aren't working, they're not eating, and they can potentially get put out of their homes, lose their cars. And so if we do that, I understand, like, on a population level, this, if we all did it, it would work. But if only 2%, 3%, 5% of us do it, I think that unless you have money that's going to be able to sort of back you up on that, then you may face some scrutiny, or individual consequences for not showing up to work and doing all of that. I think that, so that would just be my thing. Is just on a widespread. If I'm looking at us as a population, of course that's a good idea, but for individual people, they're going to be affected. So maybe not. Um, so maybe it's going to bring up a lot more things that people are going to have to deal with, given that they're going to miss a check, and a lot of us can't miss checks.
Okay, so my opinion on it, I mean, that's basically what they're gonna be banking on. They know that niggas gonna think that. So they're like, we ain't worried about that shit. Because they're gonna be too afraid to lose their shit to do it. Like maybe a small portion of folks will do it, but if a large amount of people did it, it would absolutely collapse them. It would work. They ain't gonna be able to find nobody. If enough people do it, they ain't gonna be able to find nobody to replace that. The only option after that point, at that point, was probably try to enforce more AI, maybe to try to replace some shit. But if it's some things that AI can't replace at the current moment, they would feel that because if you evict, let's say for the sake of argument, let's just say 10% of the population decide to do it. You know how many people they would have to replace? That's a lot of people. 10% of the population. We almost got 400 million people.
Uh-huh.
So we basically talking about 400,000 some people. Not going to work and not paying taxes and stuff like that for it. And they said not just for a day, but to continue it as long as you could. Let's say they keep that up. That 10% was to keep that up for 2 weeks. They would feel that. And
Yeah.
there's nothing like you can't replace 10% of the economy. There's no way they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge reason why they didn't want to. They were talking about not releasing the Epstein files, and Trump was like, "Nah, we're gonna do it." They said, "We're gonna do it." He said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it." But they were saying if we were to make arrests, that's the reason why they're not arresting people as well. Because think about this. Look at who's all in it. 90-some% of these people are very rich and powerful people that's in those files. If they were to arrest, let's say they go ahead and arrest all, and first off, I'm letting y'all know I am not justifying none of this shit. I think the glass should be arrested. Just putting it out. But I'm just saying, if they were to do this, and keep in mind, look at how rich and powerful these people are. They're 90-some% of the economy. If you were to arrest all of them, that would be essentially seizing a huge chunk of the American economy. We would collapse and go into depression like that because it's too much money that's not moving on. Because think about it, when those people are arrested, they seize their assets. So that's the reason why they're not doing anything. DeMarcus, to answer your question, Shout out to DeMarcus with super chat. He said, "I would love to hear y'all opinion on this. Do y'all feel that the Montgomery GI bill and post 9/11 bill are a form of reparations?" So the Montgomery thing, that's more so for veterans. I mean, that's good for them, but I don't see how that help the rest of the people that aren't veterans. So, I mean, I don't think it's a form of reparation. That's my
same here. I agree.
but,
Yeah. When you have a blueprint for something, it ain't rocket science, y'all. The U.S. have done it before. Multiple. It's a whole list out there where you can go down a list. So it's not like the blueprint don't exist. They just don't want to do. They don't care to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was something else. Oh yeah. So here's what's missing from the protest. The upper middle class and the lower high class may need to financially lock arms to help people, because what they're telling working class people not to go to work. And to Solo's point, if you're a single parent, I won't even say mother, if you're a single parent, some single fathers out there too. If you're a single parent on the working class level, what's working class? What, maybe 30,000 or less, whatever it is, and you asking them not to go to work, and they're already behind in their rent. That's not fair. So what's missing from the protest is, hey, and we're putting together some group funds for the people that's below a certain income tax, that you guys, if you get, the longer you can sustain, the more we'll do our best to look out for you, even if it means you coming to work for us or you whatever. So it just can't be, hey, y'all don't go to work and you got people already behind and they rent 2 months. You know, they need to feed their children, you know. So put your money where your mouth is. You don't want people to go to work. What's the compensation? Who gonna compensate them for not going to work? So that would be the
rich people.
Right.
So
and
that's why
all these celebrities, all
they don't want to
all
do
these
it.
celebrities that got all this money.
Right, and they don't want to do it, Solo. So they're going to just use their influence to influence us not to go to work, but they ain't gonna say, "Well, I got your rent for this month. I'll pay 30% of your rent."
Your volume went down a bit too.
Yeah, I keep putting my pinky over the my bad, y'all. Go ahead, you got it. What up, SG? We see you. SG clocked in. Go ahead, Jane.
Why are black people quick to follow a bogus trend instead of thinking on their own? Well, the answer to that is simple. Majority of the people in the population, period, are followers. Majority aren't leaders.
I was waiting on Solo, but since y'all quiet, I'm gonna respond to DV real quick. UAN TV and Tosh, if y'all were in a major movie, would y'all miss work for a couple of weeks because of this strike? DV, I don't know if you know or not. I'm a SAG-AFTRA member. I participated in the 2023 strike, and that's exactly what we did. We all walked off the movie sets to get respect from the movie studios. So I could say yes to that. And I can say yes from experience of actually turning down work. But again, here's the thing. When we turned down that work, the EDD kicked in. The EDD is the the unemployment stuff. Our unemployment kicked in. Other so many people. I mean, shout out to World Harvest on Venice and Arlington. They allowed us to come get free groceries when we was on strike in 2023. Connecting that back to the point I just made a few breaths ago. People who can afford it have to step up. And that's what happened during our strike. You had restaurants saying, "Hey, actors and writers, you guys come eat free at our restaurant. Just show your actor's card and you can eat free for lunch." Man, it was places in Beverly Hills, all over LA, offering us resources because
it was housing and shit too. They had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. I missed the last part, Jamie. The who?
Oh, I was just saying it was housing too. Like they had like rent assistance. And
yeah. So that's what's missing from this social protest. The video you just played. I will give the unions a benefit of that. So the unions went to collecting all the resources from around town, and they would put the information out there. Hey, if you guys need groceries, go here. If you guys need this, go there. If you need a haircut, go here. I got a free oil change. I shout out Honda of North Hollywood. I wasn't driving a Honda at the time, but that's who was offering the oil change. And I drove to Honda of North Hollywood, and they gave my car a free oil change during the strike. So it would take that type of level up for it to really, really work. And I can say that from experience of witnessing it happen when people went on strike. Go ahead.
Solo, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say something to the previous question about why Black people quick to follow a bogus trend instead of thinking on their own. I mean, the first thing I would probably have to do is remove the word bogus. But I will say that I think the issue with Black people is that a lot of us don't want to make sacrifices. We don't want to change nothing about our day-to-day life to get to the next end. You niggas don't even want to give money, and that takes zero time. I'm just saying, y'all don't even want to give money, and that's nothing, right? We spend. I'm gonna say Black women. We spending $30 on some lashes, $300 on a wig. So like, you know what I mean? It's like so. I mean, I just feel like we don't want to make sacrifices. All we want to do is stunt on each other, and it's easy to. I wouldn't say that I would just pick up on a trend. I didn't even pick up on the Target trend. Like when we was boycotting Target, I didn't understand why Target was the one getting all the smoke when all the rest of these companies are just the same.
You know the reason why Target was getting the smoke?
You got it, Jan. I was just about to jump into it, but you got it.
Because the Target, I mean, this basically what it is. If you're not leaning liberal mindset, you the target.
Right. So let me hit another target real quick. Target is also one of the first corporations that adhered to what Trump policies was putting out. So Trump said get rid of the DEI programs. Target was one of the first corporations to do that. And that's why they got the backlash.
You support Trump, you the enemy. In any kind of way, no matter how it's done, you can be supporting Trump that says that slavery was wrong. If Trump said it, the Democrats gonna go against it and be like, well, slavery wasn't that bad. Hey, and then let's say Walmart bagged Trump on that. Yeah, that shit was fucked up.
Well, the Democrats are done. The Democrats are fried chicken.
That's how it is, bro.
But just to answer the Solo question, Walmart didn't get rid of their DEI programs. Target did. That was the main reason they caught the backlash. Target actually made. Go ahead, Solo.
I was just gonna add, but the issue is that the reason why I disagree with the Target, I disagree with any backlash any company gets from removing their DEIs, because what you're asking me as a company, if I have my company, I run Target. Trump says it's illegal to have DEI. You want me to go through litigation, spend millions of dollars fighting DEI, essentially in litigation for years defending DEI? You know what I mean? Like, I don't disagree with them removing it, because you can get sued for that. That's just like affirmative action, when they were saying you gotta hire a certain amount or whatever it was they was implementing. So like, I don't disagree with them removing it, because I'm not gonna open my door up to litigation. But then I think that is like, it was just a title. Like it was DEI, it was affirmative action in place. Were we still getting discriminated against? Yes. So it's us that needs to make the changes, not looking for white people, white corporations to do it for us.
But that Black people love that white milk, though. We love that white milk, and we've been sipping on it for so long that it goes back
to. We comfortable.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word.
We're so comfortable.
Yeah.
With the way things are that we don't want to change nothing.
Right.
To answer your question, DeMarcus, yes, we were referring to the biker and right strike.
Right. That's a great example of how to do it. We made the movie studios buckle. They was about to wipe the writers out. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. The directors tucked their tail. Hey, you can tell them I said it. The
Yeah,
directors,
that's
the
true. The
DGA,
directors was on board. They was on board for that bullshit.
to wipe it out, right?
Yeah, they were.
And it was, I remember it. It within the same week, the DGAs made their decision, and SAG-AFTRA made our decision. And the DGAs chose to align with the movie studios, and SAG-AFTRA chose to stand in solidarity with the writer's strike, and the rest is history.
It's just like that's just capitalism. They want to get rid of any human, as many humans that I can get in my corporation to work less. That's benefit to me. Just like the self scan, the U scans in the store. If I buy 6 U scans, I can replace 3 cashiers. It's just crazy. Like that shit is like,
And Solo, that's cool,
Shows you
but
the
they
power that we as people do possess, but when it's not taking advantage of it. I mean, SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild fight against the the AI writers, and the major studios. The victory against them is proof that if it's done correctly, it can be done.
That's right.
I mean, we went through the shit.
Yeah. That was sad what they was about to do to them writers, bro. They was about to think about every movie you've ever seen and the movies that wasn't made. They was about to take all their movie scripts, which they probably still did, but it's just guardrails against it. And then it was going to run all the movie scripts in Hollywood history through their AI blender. And that's how they get the stories. So they run all the movie scripts from the first movie ever made to the last one made. They run those through the AI blender, and then they come up with new content. It ain't original content. They're just blending the script. So I felt bad for them. I'm like, damn, that's a cold deal for them to do it like that. And it wasn't offering no type of dividends, residuals, or royalties to the writers. So to your point, Jamie, yeah, it took for, and when the actors saw that, the actors on this, Jamie, you can speak on this stronger than me. I'm a hip hop kid that reinvented myself into the actors world. But the actors like, yo, we can't act without the script. So why wouldn't we stand with the writers?
And on top of that, bro, my stance on it was I don't experiment it with the AI writers and stuff like that just to see what all the hype and stuff was. And it can only do so well on certain stuff. With it having a lack of emotions and stuff like that changes things. So and yeah, bro, it was just crazy. My thought process on it was like for us to work as hard as we've been working for in this industry and just to get wiped out and tell you, hey, you're not needed no more. Because I'm a writer as well. So both sides tell you you're not needed anymore. We're gonna just have the AI write all that shit. Like, bro, that's some crazy shit.
Y'all said y'all like AI. Y'all said
I'm glad
is the future.
You couldn't have said that at a better time, Solo. So let me share
like
a real.
AI.
So Solo, let me share a real experience. You could have said that at a better time. 2 nights ago, I'm at a docuseries, Seen and Heard, produced by I think HBO, and Issa Rae is attached to it. I'm in line waiting to get in. And I'm talking to this brother who's a writer, and I'm like, yo, man, I produce one movie scene at a time. I'm producing off a paycheck budget. I don't have as much money as I had in the pandemic. So long story short, the dude was kind of standing there like I needed him. And it got to the point where I straight up had to tell I said, hey, bro, I can go to AI to get my scripts. I just prefer to work with a person. So, and I saw it humbled him. Because he ended up coming back around like, hey, bro, what's the website again? Yeah, TajHollywood.com, bro. And I had to look him dead and they're like, bro, I can. So to your point, Solo, it wasn't fair what the movie studios was about to do. I encourage all independent producers who can't afford to pay a writer to use AI. If you don't have somebody like Jamie helped me out when I needed a writer. He came through for me. If you don't have somebody like that, there's nothing wrong with going to AI to get you a story. And to Jamie's point, to add to Jamie's point, and I'll be done. Because you said something about the AI missing the emotion. That's what they was going to do, Jamie. Once the movie studios get the story from AI, from all the blended scripts and film history, Then they bring a person in, probably just one person to add the human emotion.
It's still
Right.
bullshit, though.
Right. There's no doubt about it. But no, Solo, I think AI could retire all of us. I stand on that. The problem gonna be, and this is where the working class has to stand together. They gonna try to finesse us out of that shit too. They know AI can retire. That's the main line to make. I gotta go check on something else in a few minutes, but I'll make this last point. They know AI can retire, not replace us. I don't even want to use the word replace. AI can retire the U.S. workforce this year, but they will have to pay us the dividends, residuals, and royalties for doing so, and they're going to try to trick us out of that. So we need to be focused on that part. It's called UBI, Universal Basic Income, where everybody is pretty much retired. If you want to use if you want to call it government assistance, so be it. That's what the government's supposed to do: protect their people, make sure their people have access to flourish. And we will be living, everybody will have their version of UBI. And if you want to experience a larger lifestyle, you will have to figure a stream of income out to sponsor or pay for that lifestyle. That's what we're approaching.
DeMarcus, I'm pretty sure none of us watched the show, so I don't know how we would know if AI wrote season 6.
Yeah, I don't think Lena Waithe was a part of that seen and heard thing. She produced, I think, wrote that, so I don't think she used AI for the shot. AI was still kind of like off the radar around that time when they came out with the shot. Nephew, don't forget to send your music link. I think Nephew then logged in and logged out. I don't even see him no more because he was the Mr. Franchise guy. But go ahead, James.
That's pretty much all I got on this March 7th, strike going on. If y'all ain't got nothing else to add to it, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Trump and this war on Iran.
All right. And I'll let you and Solo carry that in a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take one for the team. Do that for both of us while you and Solo chopping up the Iran part. I got like a few more minutes. Go ahead.
All right. So actually, I wasn't this aware of this. Solo actually told me about this last night. That basically Trump gave Iran 10 days to basically come up with a negotiation, a deal in regards to what they're going to do with Israel situation or whatever, or basically he was saying it's going to be consequences. And I pretty much got a clip of what he said to share to the viewers really fast to put y'all up to speed for those of y'all that might not be aware. Joe tried to find it real quick. Okay, so the stuff. While I'm finding this, Solo, if you want to.
Well, if you guys don't know that, according to mainstream media, which you can take with a grain of salt, they say that Trump has moved a third of our military to the area of Iran, essentially surrounding them. And they've been engaging in what they call indirect negotiations with Iran, essentially telling them to agree on their terms. And their terms is essentially give up any nuclear capabilities. That includes the lower grade that people usually use for other things like hospitals, things like that. And they definitely don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. They also want them to get rid of their long-range missiles that can reach Israel. So they're saying, Iran, we don't want you to have missiles that could attack Israel. So we want you to get rid of that. We also want you guys to get rid of, we want you guys to stop funding the Israel resistance. So all these groups in these different countries, like the Houthis, Hezbollah, what's the other one? Hamas. They want you to stop funding them. Now, Iran haven't came out and said that they're funding them, but that's the rumor. The rumor is that Iran is funding them. So Trump is saying, you guys need to agree to that, and then we can strike a deal. Iran is saying the only thing that I'm willing to agree to is that I'm not going to obtain enough nuclear capabilities to develop a nuclear weapon. Ultimately, the rumor is Trump just wants to get rid of their government. So let's just say that you run Iran. Let's just say somebody outside of the states came in and said, well, we don't want Trump to be the president of the United States no more. So we want you guys to put in a new president in your country. So what we're going to do is we're going to threaten your country with bombs and nuclear weapons and our military, or you need to, so you can get rid of your president. If you don't get rid of your president, we're going to bomb your country. So that's essentially what Trump is doing to Iran. And essentially what Trump wants, why Trump is doing this is because this is what Israel wants. And
You went out. Yeah, you went out. Now you're on mute. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with that, but maybe she got a call or something like that. But the last thing I heard her say was pretty much what he was doing is carrying out what Israel wants, and I definitely 100% agree. Like we all know, that's really what it's about. The states has backed Israel for the longest, and Trump is no different. I mean, a lot of his funding that he received when running for the election, he pretty much received substantial amount of money from Israel. So therefore, he has to carry out a lot of what their plans are, and of course, they're enemies with Iran. So that's when he's like, he's painting the picture that they can't have any nuclear weapons and stuff like that because it could be dangerous, which somewhat could be true, but like we know, it's more so about Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever his name is, that little glad nigga, allegedly is making moves. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it's about. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and share the video of what Trump had to say in regards to this thing going on with Israel.
Good talks are being had. It's proven to be over the years not easy to make a meaningful deal with Iran. We have to make a meaningful deal. Otherwise, bad things happen. And we do have some work to do with Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You can't have peace in the Middle East if they have a nuclear weapon. And they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they've been told that very strongly. And now is the time for Iran to join us on a path that will complete what we're doing. And if they join us, that'll be great. If they don't join us, that'll be great too. But it'll be a very different path. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal. Or if that doesn't happen, I maybe can understand. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But bad things will happen if it does.
So yeah, that really quick. That was the little clip that I was sharing, kind of to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible of where he stands with the war on Iran. A lot of people believe that war is at our doorstep, and more than likely we're going to end up clashing with Iran over this nonsense. If you ask me, it's complete nonsense.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
You want to go ahead and finish up what you were saying?
Oh, I think that was it. I think where did I leave off at?
Basically, I kind of filled in the dots of where I think you was gonna go with it, but you were saying that basically this is all about, Israel beef with Iran.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Still true. And it is because the Iran Iran isn't a threat to the United States. Iran is a threat to Israel because it's right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Although, like, go ahead, my bad, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say one last thing, and it's the other thing is that Israel doesn't want to have Israel doesn't want to have no one in their region that can defend them. Like now, Jamie, answer this question. If you had a country and you had a neighboring country that was sort of hostile to you, would you give up your defensive weapons to defend yourself?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
So that's what Israel is asking Iran to do. And Iran is like, you mean to tell me give up my defensive weapons so you can bomb me and I don't have a way to defend myself?
And then
Would you
this is
do
the
that?
craziest part. The craziest part, to add more context to that, Israel has more than once broke their peace treaty. Like, they was supposed to do, and they still bombing them, but they
Absolutely.
telling you, don't, you better not retaliate. What kind of shit?
hmm And you know what they say? You know that ceasefire with Gaza, they still bombing in Gaza. They still killing people in Gaza. They have broke that peace agreement 1,600 times. It's crazy. Like they're like, stop helping these people that we're killing. Stop helping these people that we're bombing. Like
Mhm.
it's insane. I don't understand why they would. I don't know. I don't know.
And that's kind of the excuses they were running during the time where, this is when Biden was in office. And we were assisting Ukraine heavily on their war against Russia, because back in, I want to say this was the 70s. Like, don't quote me on the years, but basically Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapon and formed a peace treaty with America, that basically we would come to their aid if had they have any war beef with whatever country, because that was part of the treaty. You give up your nuclear weapons, and America will come to your aid if you need it. So that's kind of what they reasoning that they were trying to. At least that was their talking points of.
I was just about to add in. That was
That's why
their
I had to
talking
correct it.
point. Yeah, that's what they were claiming.
Yeah,
But the reason why this war started was because they tried to bring Ukraine in as a NATO member. And Russia says absolutely not. Now, Jamie, let's play devil's advocate. Do you think that the United States would let Mexico get into an agreement with Russia, China, and Iran, right? They have their own little group. You think the United States would let Mexico join that group and allow them to put Russia and Chinese missiles on the border of America?
absolutely not. We know that.
Absolutely not. So why should Russia agree with that? Why would they agree with that? Which is a broken treaty. Ukraine was supposed to never become a part of NATO. I can't remember what their treaty is, but there's a treaty between NATO and I think it was the fall of the Soviet Union when they said that Ukraine would never become a member of NATO. They first of all they broke it multiple times because a lot of neighboring countries of Russia became NATO members. Russia was like, okay, you pushing it, but then they tried to bring in Ukraine, and Russia said, oh no, we going to war.
Mhm.
So it's the shit that America's asking Russia and Iran to do is shit the United States would never do. I don't know why nobody has never asked them, would you allow that? Would you allow that on your end like that? Like when they tell Iran to get rid of their missiles and their nuclear weapons, is Israel going to get rid of their nuclear weapons and get rid of their long range missiles, short range missiles, mid range missiles? Absolutely not. So why would Iran do that?
Basically, they trying to make them sitting ducks that can't do shit, and
I
that
you you know what I think it is? I think that they don't want an agreement. I think they want to go to war. It's
yeah,
like
this is
I'm
their
gonna put you.
excuse. This is their
Yes,
excuse. Absolutely.
yes, exactly. A I'm gonna put in an agreement that you cannot agree to without completely getting rid of your sovereignty, or we going to war. So then I really just want to go to war. So it
Interesting
is what
time.
it is.
Interesting times. I'm curious to see what Iran will do in response to this. I mean, I know they're very proudful people. They might just say, "Man, fuck this!" Like they they giving us an impossible task. If we gonna go down, we might as well go down fighting, bro. Fuck this.
You know what I think?
Here's my opinion on this. I've said this for quite a while now. I always felt that because I keep telling people when you're facing a bully, a lot of the times you don't have to be strong enough to defeat the bully. You just got to hit them hard enough to let them know you're not going to bully me around. And that's all it takes. So I talked about this last year, and stuff didn't really escalate as far as people were kind of anticipating that it would, but it might take place this year. All Iran has to do is put up a slight fight to the point that neighboring countries might decide, man, this shit ain't right. We're gonna, Iran holding their own. Let's help them out. And then of course world war could spark after that.
Well,
And
I was just gonna add in there really quick. Russia and China are sent their navy to Iran to do what they call it when they be testing missiles. What they call it? Drills.
so that's actually where I was gonna go. I've always said that it's crazy. Not that I need to do it, but if I wanted to, I can go back on my Facebook page right now that goes all the way back to at least 2012, where I was saying it's gonna come a time where China and Russia will team up on us, and that's gonna like cause a major conflict. And I believe that something like this could be what it is. 'Cause I believe these other countries have always been waiting for a chance that where they could see America is vulnerable. And I would say at this point, we're probably more vulnerable than we've ever been because look at what's going on with our government. We can't even get along. Like that's one of the things that Trump has been saying about the government being too big. He was saying the difference between them, us, and other countries, and I think he was referring to AI when he was speaking of this, but the same rules apply. He said is that all of them are one nation. They chain of command is like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Boom, that's it. With us, we gotta. Oh, what do you think? Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's vote. And then they come up with a decision. The chain of command is way too slow. So, and then of course the Democrats are already trying to fight everything the Republicans are doing. The Republicans are probably going to fight what the Democrats are doing, even though the Democrats aren't in power right now. But that's making us very vulnerable overall as a nation. So, what better time than now to try to strike?
But you know what the thing potentially is that a lot of people like to say, well, if Camilla was in Harris, it was in office, we wouldn't have done that, and that is just a complete
Yes,
lie. She
yes,
said her ass on that damn interview and said that she going to war with Iran anyway. That's why I keep saying it don't matter if it's the Republicans or the Democrats in office. They
it's,
gonna do the bidding of Israel. They gonna do
yeah,
what Israel tells them to do.
it's just one of them make them feel better, so they're gonna say that. But we know this is. I
We
keep telling them it's the
it's
same people. It's just done differently. That's
mhm.
it.
I think the only difference is domestic policies. When it comes to international policies, they're all on the same page. They're going to do what my issue with people that vote that are Democrats is that we watched Biden fund a genocide. We watched them fund a war against Russia. Why do Democrats still have followers, supporters of
Ah,
anything. That's everything that we are against. They did supposedly. We're supposed to be against that. We're supposed to be pro-Palestine on the liberal side, but they showed us that they're not. So why would anybody? That's why so many Muslims voted for Trump this time.
yeah, it's crazy. So working the election for the presidential election, what was it? Last year? No, damn, bro, these years be flying. It wasn't last year, it was 2024.
Mhm.
But anyways, it was a guy that he's from Iran, and he was talking about that shit. You know, how basically they were he basically was saying he's not a fan of neither one, but if he gotta choose, he going with Trump. So um
Trump
people
tricked their ass though. Trump tricked their ass. Trump said that he was no war. He was gonna end all the wars. I'm still waiting on Trump to end a war.
yeah.
He didn't start it them. He Trump. It's been 2 months in. Trump have essentially threatened 4 countries: Venezuela, Greenland, Iran, and Cuba. It's crazy.
I think I think he bluffing on some of this shit. He's trying to use our flex power to force them to do it. Because here's the thing where I be telling folks behind closed doors. With the Venezuela thing, um, it was more than just, oh, these people are being done wrong, or they're having American America's dollar value is dropping rapidly. And Venezuela was supporting Russia and China's them new currency that they got going on. So they was like, hell no, that shit ain't about to happen. That's what Trump was like. We're gonna we're gonna go ahead and go and bomb Venezuela, so-called rescue these citizens that actually want this, take their president, that way we look like the hero, while also taking their oil and basically dismantling them the agreement that they were trying to form with China, so that China and Russia, so that the American dollar's value won't just sink down the toilet.
But this is the thing, Jamie. Would America accept that from a different country?
No, absolutely not. We know that.
So if we was to say, China was to say, "Oh, we want Israel out of American politics. We want them out of the government. And if you don't do it, we're going to come in and bomb your country, bomb the White House, and kidnap the president." The
Well,
United
that's
States will go to war.
that's the luxury we have of being unfortunately, being the world superpower. We can do that. They can't.
Hmm.
Not saying it's right.
That's messed up.
Well, it's absolutely messed up. And I'm telling you, all these other countries, they wish they could take America down. Trust me, they wait know this. They're like, bro, if one motherfucker can just put a dent in their armor, I'll be there to help. Because look how long America has been dominant. We've been dominant for quite a while.
I agree.
So I guess his meeting was much earlier than he said. He said 11. But I'm gonna prepare to get ready to close this thing out. I wasn't gonna. We at an hour and a half now. So any last remarks and stuff on it can be anything in general. That
I
you
wanted to question you about when you say the Great Tribulation. You talking about in the Bible?
correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. want to cover a lot of things that's supposed to take place, how we bear in those, how close we might be, you know, because I think there's a lot of things up in there that has been, well, some of it I know for sure that's up in there that certain people believe that's absolutely not the truth. And I think that should be broken down more. And who knows, might make another play at showing you, because I'm about to do some research, some heavy deep dive. Because I actually haven't done it yet, but I'm about to actually do some deep dive research to see if it's anything out there that's supporting the Messiah coming through childbirth.
Oh, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I know. I am too. I'm excited to try to, convince you.
Yes, and Jamie, just know that I want to see it. I want to see that evidence after Christ.
I know. I already know exactly what to expect.
All right. All right. Well, I'm excited. You're teaching me something. Each one teach one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
what time on Sunday? 5:30.
I haven't decided that yet, but
Oh my God! Cause you be changing their times every week. Every week, y'all, he changed the time from 4:30 my time to 5:30 my time. He just go back and forth.
that's true. But to be fair, y'all, I'm a person. I don't have a steady job. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a job that I report to, so my shit varies. You feel me? That's why I be changing it sometimes.
Then gaslighting. It's at the same time all the time.
No. What I said to you that day was that I know exactly what you're talking about. What I said is that it normally be at 3:30 my time, which would be what 4:30 your time.
No, Jamie.
Then
It's
some of the
usually
time I switch it to 5:30.
nah. It's usually at 5:30, and you switch it because the time went back, right? So you started being at 5:30, 5:30, 5:30, 5:30. Then one week you switched it to 4:30, and then you went back to 5:30.
Yeah, but like I said, majority of the time, hello, majority of the time is 4:30 your time.
It's 5:30 my time, 4:30 your time.
Mm-mm. Majority is 3:30 my time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we go back and
Oh,
look at the records. Go and look at it. Majority of it is.
okay. Oh, well, it was nice. I like it was good. It was good. It was good. Did you see that Dr. Umar said that his school was done?
School is done.
What?
You said the school is done.
Yep.
I did not know that. I would have reported that today if I knew.
He got online. He said the school is completely done. He finna apply for his occupation, his certificate of occupancy. He not on Instagram no more. They
I
banned
haven't
him on
seen them.
Instagram.
I haven't seen them. I know that. That's probably why I ain't know.
Yeah, yeah. But it
Where
was
you
some
from?
blogs that covered it.
So you said who covered it? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said it was some blogs that covered it. I
Okay.
don't know what social media platform he may be on. I think he may be on Fanbase, but I don't think I got that. When I had Fanbase, I was following him on it, but I think I deleted that as an app.
You
But I
said they
think he on.
deleted his Instagram?
Yeah, they been deleted his Instagram.
Hmm. I knew I
I,
ain't seen him in a while.
yeah, I remember I texted him and it's like, where your Instagram? He's like, they took it away, but you can always text me.
They took it away, my dear queen, but you can always reach me at this number. Two.
Yeah, I text Dr. Umar. I text Dr. Umar all the time.
I
He
can
be
see him
texting me.
after it. I can hear. I can envision in my head exactly how you replied.
He said you can always. He said, yeah, they did take my Instagram, but you got the number, Queen.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm rooting for Dr. Umar, bro. Prove these folks
Sure
wrong.
you are.
I swear to you, I am. This is one thing about me. When I believe something to be one thing and it's not in the positive light, I want you to prove me wrong. I keep telling folks this. When I'm talking and having discussions with people, I'm not in the business of trying to speak my way to be right. I actually would love you to prove me wrong so that I can get an education. So, Dr. Umar, if you're able to open that school, I would be the first one to praise you heavily on this channel and every channel that I have. Because that is something big. Absolutely. I'm just saying, for all the way it's been looking, it has not looked good. And I was a big Dr. Umar fan on a lot of time. I told you my only disagreement with him. I told you what it was. How he'd be able to break it down, telling people about, all these disorders and stuff like that with the children and stuff, how he'd be speaking to the parents, how to deal with them. I love that. Because I 100% agree with it. Putting all these kids on these medications and shit is not the answer. Just because they're telling them, oh, they're diagnosed, they got ADHD, or oh, they're autistic and stuff like that. I think a lot of our parents fold too quickly and give up on their children, saying, they need this special help and stuff like that. The doctor knows better. Let's just do this. And I always felt that, that's the wrong way to go about it. I think autism is something that can, if you work hard enough with your child, they can still maneuver in the world very well. They just have a special way of doing it. Autism doesn't mean dumb. A lot of people tend to believe that it does. It does not. It's a lot of geniuses that were what you would, label autistic. So, but when these doctors tell a lot of these parents that they'll tend to not go as hard on them. Oh, it's okay. He don't have to, or she don't have to do that. That she has that condition. He has that condition, and you are basically empowering the miseducation of your child by doing that. So big, I always gave him big props when it comes to that. And, with him, with his empowerment of, building up the culture. Now, I don't agree with everything he says, but that's okay. We all are going to have our own opinions on things. Like, I'm not super big. I would love for us to date in our community, but I'm not one to shame someone who does it because I understand.
Hell no, I'm shaming.
I know you are.
Hell no, your ass need to go on a donkey of the day. I'm shaming. Fuck that. Hell no. We gotta have standards. We have to have a code of ethics. We have to have a black code.
It's hard for black men out here.
Hell no.
It is, bro.
Hell no. You niggas, please.
DeMarcus, I'm sorry, I'm just getting back to it, but I have seen the Beauty in Black trailer. I'm actually gonna share it on the channel and then do a breakdown. But yeah, with that, I'm just saying it'd be hard out here if everybody telling you no. What else are you supposed to do?
Keep dating, keep looking for the person for you.
Keep looking till you 50, 60 years old. You get tired of getting rejected eventually.
Please.
I'm telling you, you get tired of getting rejected.
Then go marry a white girl then, Jamie. Ain't nobody stopping you. They ain't brought back Love in V Virginia yet. But when they can, I'm calling the hotline, reporting you niggas.
Hold up. What the hell? How did I get into this? I didn't say shit
I'm
about
just
that.
saying. You said you tired of waiting. You tired of getting rejected by black girls. I said
I
go
didn't
marry
say
you a white girl. I
no.
said
I
you
didn't
go
say
marry a white
me.
girl so I can call
I didn't say me.
black code ethics on your ass so I can get your ass locked up.
I didn't say me. I've never actually been with a white woman. I've never dated and been in a relationship with a white woman. But I'm just saying I understand my brothers that decide to go that direction because they get tired of. They like, man, I'm getting old. I ain't got no kids yet. Y'all gotta think, and then this is the thing. Y'all gotta think about this is the dilemma black men are dealing with. I really want y'all to understand this to a science. You weren't passed down anything by your parents, unlike a lot of the other ethnic groups. You got to build your shit up, work your ass off to become something, which most of us don't end up, you know, basically being able to meet the expectations that a lot of our sisters are putting out there. So you got to wait and keep, and then maybe when you get older, you finally, let's say, pushing 40, you finally able to achieve that. And then they try to tell you you a PD. Oh, you can't date no woman. Y'all sick. Want to date a woman that's in her 20s and you 40, or in your 30s and they 30s and you 40 plus or 50. They tell us that. So basically, they telling you you don't meet the credentials to date me at your younger age because you broke and you don't have the financial stability I'm looking for. And once you finally got that, you got to take them, and you're probably not gonna be able to have kids because they want you to date ones at their age, which not more than likely not gonna be able to bear children. And they probably already got, especially in our community, already got kids of their own. That's a dilemma we're dealing with.
Oh, okay.
It's the truth.
I didn't say it wasn't the truth. I just said, oh, okay.
I'm just saying. So that's all I'm saying. The reason why I understand it for some of them to say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take that time. For me, I love the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get on my nerves. I love the sisters. I want that's what I want. To each his own.
You about to close out.
Yeah, probably. What you about to just do your work?
Yeah, I'm about to work.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you work, and I probably prepare me some stuff for later on tonight, and I'll catch you later for sure Sunday, if not Sunday.
All right. All right. Have a good day.
All right, you too.